The first time Marcus Thurman experienced it, he blamed fatigue. Driving back from his sister's place in Hastings County, along Route 177, he'd stopped for coffee in the small town of Edenton around 9 p.m. Nothing memorable about the place. A main street with weathered storefronts, a single traffic light, a diner called Betty's with a flickering neon sign. He paid for his coffee, got back on the highway, and drove for what felt like 20 minutes before seeing the same "Welcome to Edenton" sign he'd passed earlier. Must have taken a wrong turn, he muttered. Though Route 177 was essentially a straight shot with no major intersections for miles. When he pulled into town again, the same traffic light, the same storefronts, even the same truck parked outside Betty's greeted him. His watch read 9:23 p.m., exactly the time it should be if he'd been driving continuously since leaving the first time. That was in 2012. Marcus might have forgotten the incident if not for the conversation he overheard 3 years later at a gas station near Millfield. "I'm telling you, I went through that damn town twice," a truck driver was saying. "Same buildings, same broken church clock, same everything. Never turned around, never took an exit. Just drove straight through and ended up there again." "Edenton?" Marcus interrupted. The trucker's eyes widened. "You too?" By 2017, online forums had collected hundreds of similar accounts. Most followed the same pattern: drivers passing through Edenton, continuing straight on Route 177, then inexplicably finding themselves entering the town again 20 to 30 minutes later, without ever having turned around. Some details varied. A few travelers reported seeing different people the second time through, while others swore they saw the exact same pedestrians in identical positions, as if time had rewound. Many experienced missing time, watches showing they'd lost anywhere from minutes to hours. Others reported their GPS systems malfunctioning, showing them simultaneously in 2 different locations or spinning in useless circles. The phenomenon might have remained an internet curiosity, if not for Diane Lowell, the Regional Transportation Department data analyst who noticed something odd in 2018. Traffic sensors showed significantly more vehicles entering Edenton from the south than exiting northward, while an almost identical number appeared at the northern sensor without having been recorded at the southern entrance. "It's as if cars are being duplicated," she wrote in an internal memo that was later leaked online, "or some vehicles are vanishing while others appear from nowhere." Media attention brought scientific investigation. The leading theory, that some unique combination of geographical features and electromagnetic anomalies was causing mass hallucinations or memory distortions, fell apart when dashcam footage began surfacing. The videos showed drivers clearly passing through Edenton twice in continuous footage without turning around, with timestamps confirming the phenomenon. Dr. Helen Carver, the quantum physicist who led the first formal study of what was now being called the Echo Road, disappeared during her investigation. Her assistant reported that she'd gone to drive the route herself, radio transmitting normally as she entered Edenton the first time. Then silence. Her final transmission: "I'm seeing the welcome sign again. That's impossible. I've been driving straight for..." They found her car 3 days later, parked neatly at a scenic overlook 5 miles south of town. Dr. Carver was never found. By 2020, the abandoned vehicles began accumulating along the highway's shoulders. Dozens of them, left with doors open, engines sometimes still running. Search parties found no bodies, no signs of struggle. State police eventually started having the cars towed, but new ones appeared faster than they could remove them. Those who managed to escape the loop reported increasingly disturbing experiences. Marcus Thurman, who had begun documenting the phenomenon after his initial experience, described his third journey through the anomaly. "The second time I entered Edenton that night, something had changed. The town looked the same, but the few people on the sidewalks seemed aware. They turned to watch my car pass with an unnatural synchronicity. One man, elderly with a cane, appeared on both sides of the street simultaneously, watching me with the same hollow expression." Marcus continued, "I pulled over, determined to figure out what was happening. That's when I noticed 2 things. First, my watch had stopped at exactly 10:17 p.m. Second, through the window of Betty's diner, I could see myself sitting at the counter. The same clothes, same posture, drinking coffee just as I had during my first pass through town. But I was also standing outside watching this other me. When the doppelganger turned to look out the window, its face was wrong somehow, like a photograph that had been copied too many times. The most disturbing accounts came from travelers who reported seeing previous victims. A family described picking up a hitchhiker outside Edenton who became increasingly distressed as they approached town. "Not again," he kept saying, the mother later told investigators. When we reached the town limits, he started screaming, clawing at the door handle. Then he just faded, like a television losing reception. By the time we reached the traffic light, he was gone completely. State authorities closed Route 177 in 2022 after 17 people vanished in a single month. They established roadblocks and detours 5 miles on either side of Edenton. The official explanation cited structural instabilities in the highway. The barricades didn't last. They were repeatedly vandalized, torn down by unseen forces, or simply found moved aside each morning, no matter how securely they were installed. Traffic cameras occasionally capture lonely vehicles, ignoring the barriers and detour signs, driving toward Edenton in the dead of night. License plate checks reveal these cars belong to the previously disappeared, drivers apparently trying to return home, only to be drawn back into the anomaly that claimed them. Those living in the surrounding counties report strange disturbances, radio signals broadcasting fragments of decades-old programs, phone calls from numbers that don't exist, and the distant sound of traffic on windless nights. Most unsettling are the reports from pilots flying over the region who describe seeing 2 identical towns superimposed on each other, slightly out of phase, like double-exposed photograph. Weather satellites have captured the same anomaly, 2 Edentons occupying the same geographic coordinates, visible only under certain atmospheric conditions. Route 177 remains officially closed, though determined travelers still find ways through. Local authorities no longer search for the missing, having learned there's nothing to find. The disappeared don't leave bodies behind, just empty vehicles and the lingering sense that somewhere, somehow, they're still driving that endless stretch of highway, passing through a town they can never truly leave.